Have you ever hit rock bottom, feeling so burnt out that you wondered if you could ever recover? That was me 2 years ago when my burnout began, and it has been a roller coaster ride ever since. But through all the darkness, I found the light of a true spiritual awakening. Join me as I share my ongoing journey from burnout to realizing that I can live the life I've always deserved. I've always been intrigued by the idea that our darkest moments can lead to profound transformations. For me, that darkness took the form of burnout, an all-consuming state of emotional, mental, and physical exhaustion. It's a place where everything feels heavy and the light seems distant. But I've come to realize that sometimes that very darkness can be the catalyst for a spiritual awakening. For the last 2 years, I reached a point where exhaustion was my constant companion, no matter how much sleep I got. Every day felt like an uphill battle. I was disconnected from everything and everyone around me, going through the motions of life, but not truly living. Simple tasks that once brought joy felt like climbing mountains, and I found myself not caring about much at all. Burnout had taken over my life, and I felt trapped with no clear way out. In the depths of this struggle, I started questioning everything: my purpose, my passions, my values. I felt lost, caught in a never-ending cycle of fatigue and disconnection. I tried everything to fix myself and regain some semblance of normalcy. I spent thousands of dollars on doctors, specialists, herbalists, health coaches, psychologists, and even psychics, desperately seeking answers. Yet, despite all these efforts, nothing seemed to work. I was stuck in a loop of exhaustion, constantly fighting to keep my head above water. But here's where things began to change. In that darkness, I started to seek answers not just from the outside world, but from within. I began exploring spirituality, not as a means of escape, but as a way to understand myself better. I knew there had to be more to life than just surviving day to day. I wanted to find meaning, purpose, and a deeper connection with myself and the world around me. The first small changes I made were for my health. I began eating healthier and incorporating a bit of exercise into my routine. These weren't huge changes. I didn't overhaul my life overnight, but even these small steps made a noticeable difference. My mood improved, my mental clarity started to return, and I began to feel a little more in control of my life. I also made the decision to give up alcohol, which had been my go-to for numbing stress and emotions. By letting go of that crutch, I found I could face my emotions directly instead of trying to drown them in a bottle. I began to be more present, more aware of what I was feeling and why. These changes opened the door to something deeper. I started meditating, journaling, and reading books on spirituality. I discovered the power of mindfulness and learned to embrace the present moment. I began to see that my burnout wasn't just a physical state, but also an emotional and spiritual crisis. It was a sign that something inside me was desperately calling for change. I was being asked to wake up to a different way of living. As I delved deeper into spirituality, I noticed subtle shifts in my perspective. My old ways of thinking began to dissolve, replaced by a growing sense of peace and calm I had never experienced before. It was as if I had finally found a missing piece of myself. I started to realize that my burnout was not a weakness or a failure, but a powerful signal, a message that I needed to change the way I was living. It was prompting me to slow down, to listen, and to reconnect with the essence of who I truly am. Then, one day, a pivotal realization hit me. My burnout had forced me to confront the illusions I had been living under. I began to see that much of what I had believed to be true about myself and the world was, in fact, a matrix, an illusion created by societal expectations, personal fears, and limiting beliefs. I had been living in a way that was not true to myself, caught up in a reality that was not my own. This realization was both terrifying and liberating. Terrifying because it meant acknowledging that much of my life had been spent chasing illusions, but liberating because it opened up the possibility for profound change. I realized that I had the power to break free from these illusions, to wake up and create a new reality, a reality where I could live authentically, aligned with my true self. It was in this moment of clarity that my spiritual awakening truly began. I came to understand that I am not my thoughts, my emotions, or my circumstances. I am something much more, a being that transcends the physical world, connected to a deeper source of wisdom and love. This awakening allowed me to see my burnout not as a curse, but as a blessing in disguise. It was the darkness that led me to the light, the catalyst that forced me to look within and uncover the truth of who I really am. Now I'm still on this journey of burnout and awakening. I face the challenge of quitting my toxic corporate job, stepping away from an environment that no longer serves me, and starting to work for myself. I want to create the lifestyle I know I deserve, a life that aligns with my new values and my true self. With this realization and awakening, I now know it is achievable. 2 years ago, before my burnout began, I wouldn't have dared to dream of such a life for myself, let alone believe it was possible to manifest. But now I know that it is. I know that I have the power to create my reality, to break free from the illusions and live the life I am meant to live. So if you're feeling burned out, know that you're not alone. Know that it's okay to feel lost, to question everything, to seek answers from within, and know that sometimes our darkest moments are the ones that lead to the most profound transformations. Burnout doesn't have to be the end. It can be the beginning, a powerful catalyst for waking up, breaking free from the matrix, and living the life you were always meant to live. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you've experienced something similar, I'd love to hear your story in the comments below. And if you're looking for more content on personal growth and spiritual awakening, make sure to check out my other videos. Together, let's continue to wake up, to challenge the illusions, and to create a new reality for ourselves.